So behind me here is Castlerigg Stone Circle, one of the most beautifully placed stone circles on the planet in my opinion. Surrounded by mountains, located in the Lake District area of Cumbria. It's one of many in the area. We have Swinside, Longmeg, we have the whole Shap complex and many others. And really this is, you know, one of the most impressive, although it's actually one of the smallest, but it's a flattened A type circle. So it's one of the geometries that Alexander Thom decoded back in the 1950s. Also once had 3 cairns within it, 3 burial cairns. Only one kind of square area of that now remains. And according to early antiquarians, there was another stone circle in the area to this, so potentially in the same field, but that's now completely vanished. So we're going to have a look round. We're here with Andrew Collins and Giorgio Tsoukalos from America. He's over here for the Awakening UFO conference in Blackpool, so we're kind of showing him around for the day in the Lake District, and we're going to get their impressions. And there's also been some unusual stories about the whole strange lights and energies that have been recorded here. Now we've got some beautiful drone footage previously which I put up in the video. It's a bit cloudier today, but it was beautifully sunny when I came here a couple of years ago. And this is also where they found this sacred stone axe. And this is thought to actually be part of a whole trading route. Actually, an axe production area was located in this area, going back to Neolithic and Bronze Age times. But anyway, let's have a quick look around the circle and see what the other guys think of it.
What we know is that in the 19th century, a member of the local gentry was walking along this road, and he started to see all these lights, you know, suddenly appear. And he realised that they were over by the stones and that they're actually manifesting in connection with the actual stone circle itself. And what this tells us is that this site would have been specifically chosen because of its connection with phenomena, basically, and that the location is not simply based upon the fact that all around us we can see these incredible hills. Many of the stones would seem to be aligned to them, and I suspect probably at particular times of the year, the solstices, the equinoxes, but that there's a special reason why it was actually here, and I think it's something to do with the geology. There's almost certainly a fault line, you know, activity, quartz, all the rest of it, which is able to create exactly the right environment to not just manifest lights, but also to produce altered states of consciousness. In other words, the electromagnetic fields that will be generated are going to be affecting people, and they're then going to be able to get into ritualistic experiences. And what becomes obvious is that if everything is still here, the sounds here would be carried for miles. They probably go all the way to these hills. In other words, you know, sound I think is probably another important element of this.
Sure.
And beyond that, I mean, what is it? It's a type A circle according to the Professor Thom theory of the actual shape. So there is a specific geometry involved here. There's a weird feature here which was almost like a sort of rectangular enclosure, which also seems to be pointing towards the horizon, which is clearly integral to the whole structure. And yeah, I mean, you can only but just imagine what was going on here in the past. So what's your first impression?
My first impression walking in here is that it's incredibly calm. And that's what I've noticed with many of the stone circles, especially in England, where to me, whenever I feel a calming effect, I think it has to do with the stones, and that there was something that people reasoned why they had to build something here in the first place. And you were mentioning that there were lights. So I don't think that the stone circle came first and then the lights. I think the stone circle was built because of the lights.
So this is like a greenstone according to Andrew. It's a bit like a Tusa, but not quite square. Look at that. So this is a completely different type. This looks almost like what they made the hand axes out from. That was
You're right. It is that type of same material.
yeah, similar, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're looking at the very strange rectangular formation of stones here at Castlerigg, and we've noticed something of interest, and that's the fact that this particular stone, which is at the entrance to this, is green basically, and I am not aware of exactly what type of stone. We'll obviously look it up, but what's so significant is that amongst the most prized hand axes that were created by the Neolithic people were actually of this green jadeite, you know, or other similar materials. So the colour green, I think, to them was incredibly important, and the fact that this is at the entrance into this you know, quite clear rectangular formation, I think is significant. And the other thing that I've noticed about this, just walking into it, is the acoustics are incredibly strong. So it may well be that there is a specific shape and design to do with geometry that is enhancing the actual acoustics, and that to me suggests that there's something very important in that direction in association with this site, and that somehow green stone was important to them.
If there would be one circle, one stone circle, okay, whatever, this is what they did. But there are dozens and dozens, and all of them have sort of the same effect with the calming and the light stories. So there's something is happening. And you know, I love the fact that you have flowers laying around, which means on the summer solstice people came here to still pay respect to this place. So the tradition has not been lost, no, which is significant.
Somebody, I think in the 70s, realised that shadows played an incredibly important role here. That that when the sun was incredibly low on the horizon, it would cast shadows, and it would hit that stone over, you know, by the wall over there, you know, at a particular date on a specific time, and that you know, quite clearly that was another factor. Shadows were very important at certain times of the year. Right, we are at one of the smaller outlying standing stones at Castlerigg, and we are trying to see whether it relates to the rectangular stone structure that is actually within the circle itself, and it does seem to be aligned. And I seem to recall that there was a theory in the 1970s that the sun on a particular day of the year would cast a shadow through one of the largest stones in that, and it would reach down because of the actual shape of the land and hit this stone, so that if this stone is in its original position, then that's greatly significant. And it also would make sense of the fact that that rectangular enclosure is a very significant point. And as we've just been discussing, and we realised as we were actually filming, that there's an incredible acoustic property involved with that rectangular structure. So it's clearly integral to the whole site, and that this stone, if it is in its right position, forms part of that.
So we're just leaving Castlerigg, just having a look at it with Giorgio and Andrew and Crix and Renee and Nick, just to check it out. It's raining a bit now, but it's been an amazing visit. We even got it to ourselves for a few moments, and even noticed some acoustics as well, which was quite an interesting experience. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this special little video with some very special guests, and we'll see you next time.